What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Alan coming back at you, Tones to the Sports Channel. Yes, my setup is a little different this time around because I broke the tablet, but it's all good as long as I'm able to do it. Come back at you, like I said, some more talk, like I said today, um, and we're gonna get into to the latest buzz talk, and it's two topics that it's been talked about since Sunday, previous game, Sunday against the Steelers. And I brought the question up uh, the other day about should Gilbert be the starter or should it be Andy Dalton? And I said Gilbert because of the fact that the way the team responded, the energy that was brought that was brought to the that was brought to the game, by Gilbert, um, and he gave us a chance to win against a very undefeated team. And I agree, and I mean it's like I'm like in between because I get it that Dalton is the more experienced back. I mean the more experienced back, uh, and potentially gives you the better chance. But that's not the case at all times. It's not like Gilbert doesn't have any experience. He does have some experience uh, playing in the Arena League, so I know that's not the NFL. At the same time, he played against some some high quality. Yeah, it was some high quality competition. Put it like that, and he didn't show any fear. He didn't show that the game was too big for him versus Danucci, that was a rookie coming in. He didn't play like a rookie, although he did make some inexperienced uh, mistakes, even though that interception wasn't his fault. But like there was some plays left on the table. You know what I'm saying, as far as that goes. Whether stuff like that. But what we saw, but for that game, the got the like I mean, I can't remember if it was Stanback or one of those guys, Jesse Holly, um, had said was pretty much echoing the same damn thing. It's like, look, it's just the eyes tell you. Look at how the team was ready to go. Look at how the team uh, responded to the fourth string quarterback, that guy that only been there like 2 weeks prior, and then versus when Andy Dalton came in for Dak Prescott, won us a game with 5 minutes left. Uh, Played against Arizona, we didn't win. Washington looked horrible, got concussed. So, um, and the team didn't help. None of the players helped them up and all that stuff. Okay, we can throw that out the window. Now, where the argument is valid is that Washington game we didn't have. He didn't have Zach Martin versus um, Gilbert had Zach Martin, at least one Pro Bowl caliber lineman playing, but Looney played for Biotish. You know what I'm saying? Looney came in, even though, but still Looney has quality reps. He's the next one. Uh, I ain't saying he is as good as Zach Martin, but I'm not going to be long. He's not as good as Zach Martin, but as far as experience, being in the league longer, he was next in line, and he had some experience in playing center. So I mean, yeah, that kind of doesn't matter. It kind of throws things out the window. So the argument is that you give Andy Dalton the same uh, you give Andy Dalton the same line with that same defense that's been playing for the last two games. You know what I'm saying? The defense come with that same energy and the same offensive line and see what Andy Dalton can do. But I'm looking at the fact that why am I gonna sit around and wait to see what Andy Dalton can do? We got a whole week to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Besides this COVID thing that happened after the game, post Sunday, four Steel players had COVID along with Ben Roethlisberger. Uh, it's just this is just getting weirder. It's just becoming a very weird sci-fi-ish type season with the virus of injuries. Uh, the virus of injuries and to add injury to insult, along with the bad calls, with some calls that was missed or whatnot, and some of the calls that we have to blame ourselves for. Um, then you're gonna have four players that had COVID or really coronavirus because uh, after discovered after the game was over with. Okay, now I have to ask this: Arizona game, Zach Martin played right, and Andy Dalton was still getting sacked. Somebody please remind me of or tell me that somebody was missing off that. Was it Steele and Knight played instead of Steele, and McGovern played instead of Cam? Okay, if that's the case, then yes, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I can go back and look at the game, the highlight reel, and see who was playing, but not right now. So maybe that was the case, and minus the way the defense played. Okay, so I have to say touche. If the offensive line is look like it's gelling and we can keep these guys that are playing now, Martin Williams, Looney, and Steele, and and Irvin, and his team is that offensive line starting to gel, and that defense has came along and they keep this continuity of this momentum of effort up, playing to the max, playing with max effort, then okay, I can agree with Andy Dalton might have a better chance, might give us the best chance. You, to be honest with you. Now, I don't care, as some people are saying or have said, that it may take about 5 games to win the division. I want to win all 7 of the games that's left. And if we're really thinking about trying to win this division still, we do have to go with the quarterback that give us the best chance. By experience, the nod God does go to Andy Dalton, but by what the eye test and the energy of the team goes together, unless Andy Dalton proved to us during the Minnesota game that they got 2 weeks to repair. I mean prepare because he got 2 weeks to prepare, and this team needs to come out with that same type energy defensively and offensively and respond to it. Put points on the board to stay keep us in the game because it's not going to be an easy game. Minnesota's not an easy team. This, like I said, this team is very identical to the Cowboys. If you ask me, it's very identical. So as far as they got the surrounding talent every in all different parts of on the team as far as the starters go, but something where you were just not winning. You know what I'm saying? Where they're not turning into dubs like that. It's a highly volatile team. I mean, they can put up the points with the best of them, but they don't know how to close. You know what I'm saying? And we win enough games not to have a losing record. You get what I'm saying? They got the quarterback, they got the running back, they got receivers, they got a defense. We got a quarterback, we got the running back, we got receivers. We have a defense. We do those guys is just finally playing. They finally get it. But and we have a defense. Just say we got as of late. Okay, I'll just say as of late. I'm just saying in the most recent years that the Vikings look identical to the Cowboys as far as these the up and down seasons and stuff like that and all of that. So uh, and they're not going to be an easy team. It's not going to be an easy game. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be a physical game. It could be a high scoring game, or it could be a low scoring game, or it could be right in the middle because of ball control. Because you talked about a top running back in Dalvin Cook, and then you talking about the top running back in Zeke, and but also the emergence of Pollard. And so while I'm a segue this in right here, and I have said Pollard definitely deserves some more touches. They need to utilize Pollard a lot more. Pollard needs to be uh, in a 4 or 5 wide set and in the slot along with CD Lamb. He's good in space. Um, but he can also get behind that line and hit those holes, as we have been seeing as of late. These last couple of weeks, even in the Washington game, it was showing them that Philly game now. This is what I want to talk about with Zeke, and it's becoming and this has becoming a glaring spot. Is because Zeke is more of a thumper. He doesn't hit that hole as hard as Pollard does this year. Really, it was last year too, because what I'm about to mention it has been going on for at least this year, last year at the very least, because the year before that, he had the suspension and stuff. He was out most of the season. So and since that has happened, we last season um we still had some glaring spots in our offensive line with Frederick and and Tyron Smith. Connor Williams was still coming along, you know what I'm saying? But he was thrusted into the left guard position, you know, and that's enough. And to kind of pause right there for a second, that's the other glaring spot right now. That's something that has to be figured out. What are we going to do with Connor Williams? Left guard is not his spot. It's not his position. He just don't have the muscles. He just don't have the strength to play it. Good feet, but not the strength. Good swing tackle, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I think I've been campaigning for him to move to tackle, or at least be the swing tackle. We need to get some hogs up there. At the left, we need to get a hog at the left guard that can push the pile, so that way we can run from on both sides successfully. Okay, now back to Ezekiel in the Pollard situation. That's becoming the buzz now. You see it in all the sports media. Speak for yourself. Undisputed. You see it. You see it on all of the platforms that most people gravitate to. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying this before. I'm just gonna say I've been saying it for at least the last 3 games. And what I was saying about Zeke and this year and last year, and if you go back and watch the full clip, the replay of the Eagles game, Chris Collinsworth pointed it out himself, and this is something that I haven't brought it up until now, and but I have been noticing Zeke ball carrying vision is not on point. If you go back and really watch a couple of those, some of those run plays, Zeke hit the wrong hole, and he was being impatient. He was being very impatient. Uh, Instead of him just kind of being patient and being careful with his steps and giving that line some time to, giving them some time to create the hole, he's missing out on that. He's kind of misfiring. I don't know if he's being impatient. He's just rushing it. But Zeke ball carrying vision is something that he needs. It's something that he needs to work on. And you would think that him being a little showing, being a step slower, that he would be a little bit more patient to hit the hole. Um, no, we know we're starting to figure it out by now that you're not a home run hitter. You know what I'm saying? But you do have enough wiggle to move through tight spots, um, creases that the offensive line create, and it's a couple of them in that Eagles game. Watch that Washington Redskins game. I know it was horrible, so that we can watch that one. But you just go back and watch film going back to last season as well. Uh, Zeke ball carrying vision is not all the way there to where, as you would think, a crafty veteran would when you say the game has slowed down, you know, it the best one at it or that was at it at one point in time was Le'Veon Bell. He's very patient and letting his line develop the hole so that he can hit it with strength and with speed, urgency. Just giving it a instead of trying to hit the hole in 5 seconds, take an extra step or a hop step and give it an extra 10 seconds for that hole to finally present itself and where you're supposed to go um, on Zeke. That's exactly what's going on because he can have a lot more yardage, a lot more carries if he just slowed down a bit and let the hole develop because he's being impatient. Maybe it's because the way the line is. Um, we've been spoiled when we had 2016. That was pretty much the last of that the best offensive line in well not really um not really but just saying they right there that was like it was becoming the decline because of injuries and an illness, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Travis Frederick, stuff like that. So Zeke needs a stud offensive line in order to really get those big plays. Other than that, he's just average. He's just average because of his lack of ball carrying vision, his vision. Simple as that. Sometimes he's trying to create a hole that isn't there, and all he had to do was just wait for the hole to reveal itself and hit it and run. Versus Pollard, now I don't think Pollard can handle. I don't. We don't know if Pollard can handle 20 carries a game. He might can do it, for one game and stuff like that. To spell Zeke, whether if it's an injury and stuff like that. Um, but every game we don't know. But his speed and hitting a hole tells me that as long as that line can create a hole for him, that yes, he can do 20 carries. Um, Even though every carry is not going to be for those positive gains that he's getting, like those 20-yard runs and stuff like that. Maybe so. But throughout his year, I said that Paulo was from Middle Tennessee. I think he's from Memphis. Okay, so I said that in my previous video. So he's from Memphis, and they did a running back by committee there as well. So we will never know. We won't know if he's able to carry 20. Matter of fact, most teams aren't doing that anyway. They have two or three backs to lighten the load of their premier running back. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Pollard is here for. But they need to utilize the both of them on the field at the same time. They need to utilize Pollard in both the run and pass game, not just swing, not just out in the flats or swing routes out of the backfield. Put him in the slot as well. You know what I'm saying? And have Zeke in the backfield. Matter of fact, while we continuously running 21, maybe it's because we don't have a fullback. Okay, I get that. I get that. But we definitely can use some I formation, as well. Some offset I, and just to help switch it up. I mean, damn, just a single running back in the backfield, man. Come on now. And I keep saying that's primarily is going to be a passing. That is vintage. We pass most of the time versus the run when you're always running a single back set. To be honest with you, so um, Pollard definitely get those. He need to get those touches. He need to get those runs uh, a little more. To what extent? If he's hot, let him run hot on average, but just bump his load. Just bump his load up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Add a little bit more tonnage onto it on the weight for him to carry. Um, so him and Zeke can share the load. It helps preserve Zeke, and at the same time it helps motivate Zeke as well. Why? Because he has another back that is pushing him. So y'all tell me what y'all think, okay? Because I'm still yawning, and I'll do another one tomorrow. This is Anthony Fallon, Tone Setter Sports Channel. Peace.